he's out, and I was like, oh yeah, that'd be great. Like, that's so nice. So we started walking and walking and walking, and he's like, where's your car? I'm like, do you have a car? Like, it's only 2 more blocks, you know? I feel like you should commit at this point. Bring it up to my apartment. We can cook dinner together. You know, this could be a rom-com if we commit to it. I cleaned my apartment from top to bottom recently, and my roommates were really pissed because they're bugs. And I actually did have a really bad roach problem, to the point where I called in an exterminator. And when he got there, he's like, now what kind of roaches do you have? I'm like, what kinds? The giant gross kind. I don't know kinds of roaches. Oh yeah, those are American cockroaches. Thank God, I was so worried about immigration. Like, you don't have to worry about those. It's not an infestation, they just come up here to die. Like, really, the one that chased me into my room last night, it seemed like he had a lot of life left in him. You know, he didn't know this was a roach hospice, apparently. Next time, I'm not even calling an exterminator. I'm just gonna learn how to play the flute. Entice the roaches out of my apartment with a charming song. I don't know what kind of songs roaches like. I'm not sure I believe in psychics. You know what? Every time I beat one up, they never see it coming. You know, if you've never extracted a kidney stone from a penis, you probably don't get very good head. Last night I got so drunk I had unprotected eye contact, which I call raw jellyfishing, which works if you know that jellyfish procreate asexually. So I used to live in Chicago. I live in LA now, but I had this old lady that lived across the street from me, and she'd sit out on her porch every day. One day I decided I wanted to paint a picture of her. So I took a photograph because I thought it was less creepy than pulling my easel up to the window and staring at her all day. And as I got to the point where I was painting her hands, I couldn't really tell how they were laying, so I'm like zooming in, and I realized she's holding a gun. Is she protecting us or waiting to lash out at someone in the neighborhood? Like, it really wasn't clear what the gun was about. You know what? Gun control is so simple. I don't know why everybody gets freaked out about it. Everybody knows assault rifles are totally safe when used for their intended purpose. Killing Iraqis, or Syrians, or Palestinians, or you know what, 3's enough, you guys get it. We don't have time for me to list all the countries that we're using those weapons in. Barbie is a shitty toy. It gives girls unrealistic expectations about their bodies. You know, when I was a kid, I had one, and I waited and waited, my nipples never fell off. Nor did my vagina grow over. Like, Barbie really lied to me in a lot of ways. And now we have a fat Barbie, because we're like, we all gotta be fat, you gotta be fat too. Like, that's fair. And the next Barbie dream house, there's gonna be a room in it with a Barbie inside of that room who's so obese you can't get her out. Like, it's gonna drive kids nuts. I'm not gonna like that at all. You know, when a fly lands on me, I don't shoo it off right away because I like how it feels when they crawl on my skin. Do you think that's a mild form of bestiality? Because there's a coffee shop at my house with really good flies. So I go there a lot. I was interviewing for this job at SeaWorld, and the woman was like, now, would you be comfortable stimulating our male whales as part of the breeding program? I was like, comfortable? That's why I applied for the job. I'm very good with giant whale penises. This guy tried to roofie me, but he did it with mushrooms, because he didn't want to fuck me, he just wanted to be best friends. And it really worked. Still best friends to this day, totally against my will.
You ever notice the ratio between people waiting at a sporting event to wash their hands and waiting to use the bathroom is way the hell off? It is. Guys, girls, doesn't matter. I've waited hours to get to a urinal, and I've waited seconds to get to a sink. It is disgusting. And think about where your dirty poop hooks have been. Where you put them? What you grab? Oh, it's just sick. This isn't even a joke, it's just a public service announcement. Wash your damn hands. Thank you. There's a flu epidemic going on. I mean, people have died over this. The other thing, too, is if you are sick, don't come to work. Don't go into work. Who do you think you are, you hero? You know, the viruses don't know that you're being a tough person. And people will say, you know, I just want to be a team player. I got to muscle through it. But you're not part of the Spartan 300, Carol, so get the hell out of here. Go home. Oh, it's gross. We're all friends here. And we can talk about them because they're not here. So let me tell you a little bit about white people. If you ever see a white guy walking down the street and he's got his shirt off, he's not doing lawn work, and he's not going to a party, that guy's looking for a fight. He's looking for a fight. That's the only other reason why white dudes pull their shirts off. And at this point, I don't even stand in the way of the fights or anything. I watch them from afar, and I feel like I narrate them like BBC's David Attenborough. Take a look at the two males. Both arms stretched, chest puffed, in an attempt to intimidate the other male. There seems to be a standing up. They make eye contact and exclaim, "Come at me, bro." While they are doing this to attract the females, it seems no females are interested in this band. I don't even have an end to that joke. That's as far as I've got on it, but I'm going to keep working on it. Love David Attenborough. Thanks for the sympathy clap. I'll take that. Oh, you're too kind for an applause break on a half-black joke. That's okay. I like you guys. You're fun. I don't think people who wave signs in front of businesses actually make those businesses any more money. Have you ever turned into "We Buy Gold" because of the Statue of Liberty person? You've never done that? Never. I don't even want to look at them. I don't want to make eye contact because I could get their sad on me. That is sticky. Can't even take it out with a Tide pen. They say the definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over again and getting different results. And I think vaginas are insane. I'll explain it to some of you. Women, your vagina's like a love lock that has to get picked individually. It's not like guys where it's like riding a bike or pulling Kleenex out of the box, just get it, you know? It doesn't work that way. A woman's vagina is like the old school Nintendo, because only the owner knows how to get it to work properly. You've been at your friend's house and he's like, "Hey man, let's play Mario." And you're like, "If you need to play, it's in, out, up, down, a blow, and then reset." Thank you. Alright. 2 dork jokes and I'll get the hell out of here. As if these aren't dorky enough. Scientists once gave dolphins LSD in order to try to communicate with them. This is real. They were hoping to achieve a higher purpose. Grown all you want, I love it. It'll be in every set and special, thank you. You seem to not like the sea mammal jokes, so buckle up, here comes another one. Since 1970, over 70 people have been attacked and killed by captive orca whales. Over 70 people. How many of them do you think are black? None. Nailed it. Not one black person. And it's not because black people can't swim, because that's racist, and how dare you, Brian. It's because black people can't, or they don't have "I can talk to animals" syndrome. And white people have "I can talk to animals" syndrome. There's not another race that jumps out of the safari van to get a closer look at the lion. There's not another one that falls into the polar bear exhibit at the zoo. And I've never had any of my black friends ever come up to me and go, "Hey man, let's go see if we can try to pet that." That's my time, guys. I'm Joe Elder.
came all the way from Ann Arbor to be here tonight. Full disclaimer, he is a former police officer. So, hide your marijuana. No, he's former, he's retired, he's quorum chic. Give it up for quorum.
Yes, I am retired, so you can chill. And they said, you do comedy, do whatever's unique about you. And I thought, okay, retired Ann Arbor police officer, what else is different? The other thing is I was born in Pakistan. Thank you for that warm response. But it's funny because when I first started with the Ann Arbor Police Department, it's not very diverse. It was an almost all-white police department. We had a handful of black officers and then me. Kind of like the diversity here. But so to me, it was always funny when a citizen had a complaint against me, they didn't get my name, Sergeant could still instantly figure it out because he'd always ask the citizen, he'd be like, can you describe this officer? The citizen would be like, oh yeah, it was that Puerto Rican guy. Of course, now we know where Pakistan is, right? Which isn't necessarily good for people who aren't from Pakistan. They'll dislike me because Bin Laden was hiding there, like I had something to do with that. But some of us do like our police and firefighters, right? Yeah, I'll milk that, thank you. But to me though, it's still weird. Hate me for being Pakistani, but then love me for being a police officer. It's really weird getting the complete opposite reaction at my Al-Qaeda meetings. I do not go to Al-Qaeda meetings. We chat online. Almost edited that one for you guys. But you gotta admit, whatever you think of my act, chances are I gotta be the only Pakistani police officer doing stand-up comedy in Wyoming, Michigan. Who looks like Johnny Mathis. Well, but some of you young people have to Google him. But it's funny, at a regular comedy club I often don't even mention I was a police officer because it seems like half the crowd just smoked marijuana. Who wants to admit it here? Anybody? Oh, okay. It's not a big deal in Ann Arbor, right? Anybody know what the fine is? $5. You're from the 60s. It used to be with the hash bash, they raised it. True thing, currently, if you have marijuana in Ann Arbor, it's a $25 fine. What's funny there though, if you have cigarettes, possession of tobacco for someone under age 18 is a $100 fine. So we literally would get these teenagers with cigarettes, but they're pleading with us, it's marijuana. So just to say $75, I'll do the math, I'm from Pakistan. And a lot of people don't realize, you might be interested in knowing this, but the breathalyzer will detect if you're smoking marijuana. People think it just detects alcohol, but the way we can tell is if we give you the mouthpiece and you go, thank you, officer. Pretty good clue, you've been smoking some weed. And then, of course, anytime you take enforcement action, people always think it's because of their race or ethnicity. It's like right before I retired, I pulled over this gentleman. Before I could get his license and registration, he started screaming at me that the only reason I'm stopping was because he's Mexican. It was so unfair, he wouldn't listen. It's honest goodness truth. I had no idea he was Mexican. Only reason I stopped him, I thought he was black. Come on, Wyoming, you can have that. That is not the only reason. He was with a skinny white woman. You know, I'm kidding, she wasn't skinny. Oh. Actually, when I first started doing comedy, I'd be nervous to do that because the last thing I wanted to do was offend anyone, but I think we're too politically correct, don't you? Thank you, yeah. I say have fun. Wasn't easy when I started. I'm not sure how the veteran officers did it, but they rewired my siren. So when I go to pull somebody over, instead of usual police whistle sound, it would go la 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 la. Took me 2 weeks to learn to do that. I think it comes natural. It does not. I have to go to Dearborn. Some of you been to Dearborn, huh? Well, I also like to do topical things. It is tough right now being an immigrant because you look at Donald Trump, he is took the protections away from the Dreamers, right? He's deporting the El Salvadoran refugees. He pardoned Joe Arpaio in Arizona that was racial profiling. I'm starting to think the only immigrant Donald Trump is not screwing lately is Melania. Am I right? I mean, even if you like Donald Trump, I don't think he's screwing her, huh? And then she's an interesting first lady, because usually you'll take on certain causes, right? And what is Melania taking on? Cyberbullying. Right? Well, Donald Trump is the world's biggest cyberbullier. I was thinking that's like if Jeffrey Dahmer's wife wanted you to go vegan. Those that don't know, he was a cannibal. Google him. Although then they tried to defend her, they say what she does do, she travels all over the country visiting young kids. I'm like, shit, Jared from Subway did that. I'm not endorsing that, I just report what happened. Although now she's like the third model that Donald Trump married. Right? I was thinking the only model I ever had sex with, I had to put together. And it was an airplane. Hey, I was young, it had a cockpit. Well, I wasn't that young. I didn't know if these jokes would fly. Oh. Speaking of flying, did you see all these scandals with the airlines? What was it, American Airlines was dragging that Asian gentleman? And then just coming here, they said Spirit Airlines has a scandal. Evidently the pilot did not realize his mic was on. He's talking to the co-pilot. He's like, man, I sure could use a drink and a blowjob. The flight attendant heard this. She's running toward the cockpit, telling him his mic is open, and all the passengers all at once said, hey, don't forget his drink. I'll recycle old jokes. And then all the controversies going on now with like transgender bathrooms, if you're following that. Now I'm from Ann Arbor, I do comedy. Usually we're pretty liberal, but I think we should be very, very strict on separating the bathrooms. But I think we should do it based on if you're doing number 1 or number 2. Got no problem with a transgender person. I don't want a big bird guy taking a crap. Gotta separate that shit. That was a pun, I knew that would. And then in 2018, Supreme Court will rule, are you following this cake maker who refused to make a cake for a gay couple, right? When I heard that story, I'm thinking, is there any more gay occupation than cake decorator? Right? Even in Ann Arbor, the musical theater majors are like, dude, that is gay! Right, you think of it, what's he do for his profession? He squeezes cream into a bun. That's the plot of every gay porno movie. I mean, I think, I don't know for sure. Let's see what else is interesting. Well, I think this Me Too thing might have gone overboard. I don't know what you think, but I was at a bar the other night, and this woman said she was uncomfortable because she thought I was staring at her breast. That was like one of the worst lap dances I have ever paid for. And so you remember that white woman that was acting like she was black? You know what I'm talking about? Taylor Swift. Well, it was funny coming here. I was worried because, I don't know, like in the Detroit area, they've had all these road rages. If you saw around the Flint area, somebody was dropping rocks. And remember a few years ago, there was a guy shooting at cars on I-96. Remember that? So when I was coming on I was a little nervous, but I remember when they arrested him, they didn't know what was motivating him, but when they made the arrest, they said he was very well educated. And then they said he went to Michigan State. I'm like, well, which is it? Uh-oh, what do we got, some state bands? Got some state bands? Oh. Don't worry, I'll talk real slow. We always say in Ann Arbor, we say, how many state Spartans does it take to change a light bulb? Actually, it only takes 1, but they get 3 credit hours for it. Actually, it's funny how riled up people get about sports rivalries. I think it's overblown. I'll test you with this. It was like 14 years ago, we had the wardrobe malfunction. Some people know it as Nipplegate. Who was the celebrity who showed her nipple? Janet Jackson, very good, all right. Who was the celebrity who snatched her top? Justin. Okay, what were the 2 teams played football? It was actually New England against Carolina. It was Tom Brady with UM. He was the MVP. Yeah, but let's wrap up with a few more police things. I remember late at night I saw this car weaving, so I pulled it over. I could smell the alcohol. So I asked the guy, I said, where are you headed? He's like, believe it or not, officer, I'm going to a lecture on the evils of alcohol. I'm like, dude, it's 2:30 in the morning. Who's giving this lecture? He's like, oh, my wife. And I used to work as a dispatcher for a while, but I got in trouble because Comcast called, said they were having an issue with a customer. They wanted the police to come out. So I said, all right, we'll be out next Thursday between 10 and 6. Did not like that. Now, another thing we'll do, if we pull somebody over to give us any kind of lip or attitude, we'll give you 2 tickets to a Lions game. Too soon? Too soon? Actually, I'm a big Pistons fan. Anybody seen them downtown? They moved to any Pistons fans? I think the reason I like the Pistons so much though is because the first woman I ever had sex with looked exactly like Ben Wallace. No, she's built like Ben Wallace. And see, in Ann Arbor we have the Nude Run, if anybody heard of it, or Naked Mile. Did you run in it? Because it's a true thing, it's on the last day classes that senior students run naked through campus. I was policing a few years ago, we had 2 elderly ladies ended up in the area by mistake, and a group of frat boys ran by totally nude. One lady, she had a stroke. The other one, she kept her hands to herself. Might have to explain that to the state people. Oh. Okay, well, very good. See what else I want to do. It's funny, people will tease me, like when they had the Me Too thing. You remember Harvey Weinstein? One of the things he was doing was having a woman watch him shower. Same with Charlie Rose. So I had this female comedian, she said, Coram, you would never do something like that, would you? So I got kind of proud. I'm like, no, I would not. She's like, yeah, I didn't think so, because Pakistani men, not really known for showering. Did not think that was called for. And see what else. Well, I'll wrap up with probably the funnest thing I did as a police officer when we arrested prostitutes. Because you got to flirt with them and stuff. I remember there was one, she had a really short mini skirt on, she was wearing crotchless panties. She came up to me, she's like, hey officer, you want some of this? Of course, I was professional, I said, no, I do not. She got offended, she's like, why, are you gay or something? I said, no, I just don't want any of that. I mean, look what it did to your panties. Besides, I could see her balls. I think her name was Caitlin. Come on, I'm kidding, I banged her. Tell you what, before I leave, people will ask when I'm off stage if I really had been a police officer or that's just a gag. So I carry evidence now, because let me ask you this. Had I not been an officer in Ann Arbor, would I have these? Bad example. I think you two do, don't you? But thank you very much for supporting a great cause and giving us time up here. Thank you very much, Brian.
I like a girl's booty so big when she sits on my face, I look like a 10-speed bicycle seat. Can't even see me down there. Need a goddamn snorkel. Get a breath. Because I don't like little girls. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a little girl fan. I like big, thick women. I like them so thick that when I go downtown, my face is here. That's right, that means I gotta take a deep breath before I get in there. Because you know you can't breathe when you're this deep. Little skinny girl, you're there. You can smell anything. Well, I hope you don't smell anything, but I'm just saying. Weed smokers, we got any weed smokers in here? 4 people, how did he win? I love to smoke weed, I do. But that new weed is a motherfucker, man. The other day I smoked some Gorilla Glue. Anybody heard of that shit, Gorilla Glue? I called my dealer back, I'm like, dude, man, you gotta give me some fucking Elmer's glue or something, because Gorilla Glue is just too much. I was so high I called the police on myself. The phone call was like, hello, 911. The sun in this house is high as hell. You're like, sir, who are you with? I'm alone. I heard the lady laugh. back. She's like, what seems to be the problem? I'm locked in the bathroom. She said, sir, we suggest you get yourself something to eat. I was like, bitch, didn't I just tell you I'm locked in the bathroom? What are we gonna eat, the tampons? That crystal in there does look good in the toilet, though. I might just eat that motherfucker. Cause you eat weird shit when you're high. Like pussy for like 15 minutes. Cotton mouth, bare, terrible and shit. You just like cat licking coochie and shit. It's terrible. Well, she liked it. So I don't like girls that smoke weed, because a blowjob from a girl with cotton mouth is horrible. I don't have foreskin, but I do now. Jesus. Can you get a drink of water or now later or something? Just me. Yeah. How do you win? I don't know, man. My life is crazy shit. I'm 50 now, 50 years old. I got married again. Give it up for that. All right, don't give it up for that. Don't give this is my 4th time. That means I'm a 3-time loser working on number 4. People are like, what the fuck was you thinking? Getting married 4 times. I'm like, because 50 years old and a player ain't a good look. What do I look like at the club? Hey, mommy, don't I know your dad? Don't I go to school with your kids or something? You might have, bitch. But if you can bleed, you can breed. Okay, that's even younger, isn't it? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I have a daughter. She's 30 years old. She just had a baby. Give it up for that green baby. Cutest thing I've ever seen and shit. I still don't understand how it happened. She married a lady. She did. She married a lady and she got pregnant. I was like, what happened right there? $10,000. Okay, I get it. I get it. Can I see the picture of the fucking guy? At least he's good looking. I got a good looking grandbaby. You know, you kind of don't worry about that. You know what I mean? Because I got some friends that their kids, you know, their grandkids ain't so good looking. That's like gotta be the worst shit in the world, you know? You gotta worry about that shit. When your daughter comes home with a guy, he better be good looking, because you don't want ugly grandbabies, right? Oh, just me. I'm the only one that don't want ugly grandbabies? I don't want ugly grandbabies. I want to be proud in the damn food court and shit. Over there where the kids are playing around the damn tree at the mall. I mean, I got a little white grandbaby and shit. Because my wife, you know, she was a blonde hair, blue-eyed white girl and shit. So I had a son, he's dark like me. Then he turned around and had a kid with a white girl. And that kid's got blonde hair and blue eyes. When it's time to leave the play area, it's not a good look. Everybody's looking at me like, somebody call an Amber Alert, people, please, quick! A Mexican is still in a white baby. Like, he's mine, motherfucker. Look at him. Don't you see him punching everybody?